Okay, so first of all, I'm going to start off with a super fun question, and I cannot find who asked it anywhere because it's going so fast, but where would you rather live, Metropolis or Gotham?
Oh, neither. Neither. Both the cities are constantly targeted by supervillains and big plots of mass destruction. I don't want to live anywhere near Gotham or Metropolis. Thank you very much.
I'd live in Metropolis, and I think you would too at the end of the day, just because, one, I know you don't really care for New York City. Right. So, because it's dirty. Gotham's pretty dirty compared to Metropolis. Metropolis is a lot cleaner.
Yeah, yeah.
And then two, you know, you do have Superman who, you know, Batman's great. I love Batman, but he can only be in certain places. Superman can almost be in like multiple places at the same time. So I think he could, you know, take care of more crime that way.
Yeah, I want a longer life expectancy though, so I'm going to avoid both cities.
I love it. Okay, a lot of people in the chat room are asking about our thoughts on Dwayne Johnson as Green Lantern. I've seen this since the show started, so what do you guys think? Yeah,
I've been avoiding this because it's just, it's one of those things that, oh, because on an Instagram thing, I think this was even on an Instagram picture, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's an Instagram picture he actually put up 3 months ago, but just nobody noticed. And it was a picture of him and a producer buddy that are really good friends, and just one of the hashtags he put, unconnected to anything, one of the hashtags he put on the picture on Instagram is, John Stewart could whoop Superman's ass. Yeah. That was just like a random hashtag he put on an image. And now in typical, you know, internet frenzy fashion, everyone's like, oh, The Rock just gave us a hint that he's going to play John Stewart. Now, like, we know that The Rock has been talking that he's planning on doing a DC property. He will be in the DC universe at some point, some way. That's no doubt. But I think this is just mob frenzy mentality. And that's why I didn't run it as a story, because it's not a story. And who knows, maybe The Rock is going to be John Stewart. He's going to be somebody. But I don't think a random hashtag he dropped in one of his Instagram pictures had any meaning about anything. That's just my thought. Dennis?
I've been saying I'd rather see him as Lobo. I hope they do a Lobo movie at some time, and, and that he plays that. I think his personality and how he looks fits that much more than John Stewart. I think it's a big mistake, though, for Marvel to let The Rock... The Rock is like a franchise unto himself.
He really is, yeah.
That letting him go to DC, because I think if they brought him into the Marvel fold, that they would be able to utilize him brilliantly.
Really well. Remember, he was lined up. The Rock was lined up at one point to be in a Shazam movie playing Black Adam. I would still love to see The Rock as Black Adam. I would love to see him play a villain, and I think Black Adam would be a great villain for this universe, but then that gets into the Captain Marvel question again. How much magic do they want? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we're supposed to be doing these rapid fire. What's next?
Rapid fire. Okay, we also have very many people asking about the trailer of A Million Ways to Die in the West and what we think about it.
I thought it was pretty funny. I thought it was pretty funny, but I didn't get super pumped up about it because it really was just a random collection of various jokes from the film. And they were funny, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be, I loved what Seth did with Ted. I thought that was brilliant. And so I'm really looking forward to it. But I wasn't blown away by the trailer because, you know, just random shots of random jokes throughout the film. And specifically the Red Band trailer. Like the restricted trailer was quite funny. But, you know, it didn't knock me off my chair, but I'm really looking forward to the film.
Yeah, I saw the Red Band trailer as well. I thought it was funny, and it's interesting. I think this is the first movie, not that he directed, but he's the star of, right? If I'm not mistaken. Seth MacFarlane. So that's another thing that we have to look into once the movie comes out. Can he carry a whole movie?
Although I will say this, all the actors, it's a Western, right? All the actors look like they fit in the movie, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Seth did not, he did not look like he fit in that environment whatsoever. And maybe that's going to be part of the gag. All right, what's next?
The Goose81 says, hello from Salzburg in Austria. Are there any news about a He-Man movie? I think it was supposed to be called Greyskull, but haven't heard anything about it for a long time now.
Yeah, the director from G.I. Joe, John Chu, he was signed on to direct a new He-Man movie for quite a while. But then when G.I. Joe 2 got greenlit, or G.I. Joe 3, which will be his second film, then he passed on it. The studio's taken several runs at it. They've had several scripts written for it. They want to do a Masters of the Universe movie. I think they're just having a really difficult time, and it's understandable. This This is a tricky property to do. Because you do He-Man right, you got a 5-film franchise that could make lots of money. You do it wrong, it's dead in the water, you'll never recover. So they're taking their time with it. No doubt it's coming, but I think they're still kind of at the drawing board stages of right now. Have you heard anything different?
No, I heard the same stuff.
All right, what's next?
John Chu's been really busy working with Justin Bieber, so he
might
be available
so much Bieber stuff to do.
Just saying. Michael Gardner wants to know, will Disney ever buy the Spider-Man film rights? And if they did, would Disney put him in the MCU?
No. Never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Let's just get that straight. Not because Marvel would not be interested in buying back Spider-Man. Sony will never sell him. So because they are printing their own money with the Spider-Man movies. Spider-Man movies just make cash. So why would Sony ever want to give up with that? So you got to put, if you're Sony, you're going to sell Spider-Man, you got to put a price tag on him that reflects over the next 15 years the money you would make on that character. And at that point, it just ain't worth it for Marvel to get him. Marvel's got tons of characters. They don't need Spider-Man. Like, let that sink in. Marvel doesn't need Spider-Man. They're doing really well without him. They don't need to pay $3, $4, $5 billion to Sony to get one more character that they could have made all that money with anyway. But what it comes down to is Sony will never sell him. Never. Anyway, Dennis, how do you see it?
Yeah, unless Sony becomes bankrupt and they have to sell off individual parts of their business.
But even then, they'll just spin off the corporation parts. That's like Microsoft did. You know?
Yeah. But Marvel, they're not going to pay. Let's say Sony does want to sell it. So Marvel's not going to pay the price that Sony's going to ask for because having Spider-Man, as weird as it sounds, in their current universe will only add X amount of percentage to their bottom line. Like, so it doesn't really make sense. Like, you're going to pay whatever, like let's say $1 billion for Spider-Man, but you're only going to make X amount, a few $100 million. It just doesn't make economical sense.
Yeah. All right. What's next?
The Hoofman 81, will Maleficent fail as bad as the last live adaptation, the monstrosity known as Snow White and the Huntsmen?
Well, keep in mind, Snow White and the Huntsmen didn't exactly fail. I mean, it wasn't. I didn't like it as a film. It had its, but I didn't think it was a horrible movie. I just didn't like it, and it made money. So I mean, it's not really that big of a failure. But I don't get the same worry about Maleficent that I had for Snow White and the Huntsmen. This looks really good. Other than those CGI fairy godmothers, I think this looks really good, and I know Disney is very excited about this film. I have a feeling it's going to be quite good, and I got a feeling financially it's going to be quite a success. What do you think?
I didn't like Snow White and the Huntsman either, but I actually liked the trailers that were coming out before the movie actually landed, and there are redeeming qualities. I actually like the kind of the design of everything. It just ended up being really boring. Yeah, Maleficent. It's a different company, right? It's a Disney and Snow White, so yeah, I'm not too worried.
Yeah, I'm just bringing it up here. Snow White and the Huntsman, worldwide, I'm just trying to get the numbers to come up here, worldwide made about $400 million.
And they were talking about a sequel.
Yeah, and I think they are going to do a sequel.
Yeah, if you're talking about a sequel or you are doing a sequel, then obviously it wasn't that big a failure.
Yeah. All right, let's do a few more.
I actually liked it. Nicholas Cruz wants to know, what do you think of the rumor that Dr. Doom might be a girl?
Let's put it this way. I give it no thought. All other things being equal, I want my Dr. Doom as Dr. Doom. I don't want them to change the gender of him, but I also wouldn't, shake my fist at the heavens and scream why, unless I saw what direction they were going with it. So I would rather just keep him, but otherwise, and I don't really think that's what they're doing.
I don't think they're going to go that route either, but I don't have a big problem with it.
Right.
Richard Crump, thank you for the wonderful comment about my Jared Leto statement. And your question is, are we getting a remake of Grapes of Wrath?
At some point. I mean, Grapes of Wrath is kind of like Sense and Sensibility or Jane Eyre or whatever. It's one of those things that probably every number of decades will be remade. So I have no doubt we're going to see one again.
Yeah, sooner or later. It's like Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, I'm not aware off the top of my head of one being in production right now. No. Not that I know of. Maybe one is, and you guys can mention that in the chat board. But if there's not one in the works right now, I have no doubt.
When was the last one? 40s, 50s?
I can't remember, to be honest. There might have been one in the 80s,
really?
actually. Yeah,
I don't think I saw that one.
Okay, me neither.
Time for a new one.
Yeah.
Thomas Pastorfield says, thanks for the great show. My question is about Thanos. Has there been any casting in regards to who will portray the Mad Titan? If Vin Diesel isn't confirmed yet, could he really be playing Thanos?
I have no doubt that Vin Diesel is certainly a possibility for Thanos. I mean, remember, Thanos is also going to be kind of like Groot. You're not going to see Vin Diesel's face, you know, if they have Thanos. Thanos is going to be heavily CGI'd, so it almost doesn't even really matter who's playing him.
It's just the voice. It's really just the voice, and maybe Vin Diesel will do it. It's like I forgot the character's name, but Manu Bennett from Spartacus was in The Hobbit, the second one. Or actually, both of them.
Yeah, he's in The Hobbit. He plays the Defiler. What's his name?
The White Orc with the one hand. And like, you can't tell that it's him. It's all CG, and I think that's what Thanos is going to be like.
All right, let's see two more quick.
Matthew Unruh wants to know if we will ever see a Goon movie. I think it's a great comic, and I think it could be a really good animated film.
If I'm not mistaken, I thought I heard that the movie rights for Goon were picked up and that it might be in development. So look into that, but if I've got a buzzing going in my head that was picked up and is being developed by somebody.
Didn't they do a test animation or something
like that? They may have. They may have.
I think I heard of that.
Yeah. Okay, another one.
Juan Montanez says, hello from the Puerto Rican guy. Hey, AMC sons and daughters. So do you guys think that eventually the Guardians of the Galaxy will appear with the Avengers? If so, how? Thanks.
It's really hard to say when we haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, I don't know how they're going to tie it into the main part of the universe. It's certainly a possibility, like within this universe that they've created. But at the same time, they don't need to. Marvel doesn't need to. I mean, if they do an Avengers 3, how many people are not going to see Avengers 3 if Guardians of the Galaxy aren't in it? None. So, in theory, how much more money would Avengers 3 make if the Guardians of the Galaxy were in it? Theoretically, nothing. No more extra money. So I don't know why they would.
I'm purely speculating, but I'm saying they are going to be in Avengers 3. This is purely on my opinion.
I wouldn't bet against you.
I think because, you know, if anyone's who read the Infinity Gauntlet, they need as many as many superheroes as possible, and they're missing some key ones. Like Silver Surfer and you know, Spiderman, a few others that they aren't going to be able to use in that. So I think Guardians of the Galaxy is going to come and fill some of that space.
Okay, just as a bonus, let's do one more, just as a bonus, then we'll get out of here.
Christopher Marabella, is the Sin City sequel still happening? Do you guys think there should be a sequel?
Oh yeah, the film's done.
Yeah,
it's done. I can talk about it for a second. I'll look up the release date.
Yeah, it's done shooting. I think almost done editing, or maybe it is done. They're just holding it back for a better time slot, I think. I think originally it was supposed to come out this past year in 2013.
It was supposed to come out in 2013, then they bumped it in 2014. Right now it's set for an August 22nd release date. So yes, Sin City: A Dame to Kill For is coming in AMC theaters everywhere on August 22nd, unless they bump it again, but it's done and it's in the can.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news, and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.